Okay, guys, good morning. Good morning, all of you. Yesterday, we discussed about the introduction of the hydrocarbons. Okay? The introduction, the history of the hydrocarbons, and the classification of the hydrocarbons. In the chapter, we are going to discuss that is the first subtopic in hydrocarbons, that is alkanes. The first subtopic in hydrocarbons, that is alkanes. Okay? Alkanes. Alkanes are the very important compounds in hydrocarbons. The general formula for alkanes are, that is CnH2n plus 2. The general formula for alkanes are CnH2n plus 2. Therefore, here N stands for, here Cn, N stands for number of carbons present in that. Number of carbon present in that compound. Okay? Number of carbons present in the compound, that is the N. Okay? Here 2n plus 2. 2n plus 2 stands for, that is number of hydrogens. 2n plus 2, that is number of hydrogens present in that compounds. Number of hydrogens present in that compound. Okay, and that is another important point is alkanes. Alkanes are inert compounds. Alkanes are inert compound in normal conditions. At normal or under normal conditions, alkanes are inert compounds. Alkanes are inert compounds. Alkanes are inert. Inert means what is that? Inert means they are reluctant to participate in the reaction with acids, bases, or other compounds. Okay, they are reluctant to participate in the reactions that is like alkanes, that is acids, bases, and other compounds. That means they do not reacting with acids, bases, and other compounds. That's why they are called as paraffins. That's why alkanes are generally called as paraffins. Why they are called as paraffins? They are low affinity compounds. Low affinity compounds. That means affinity means low reactivity compounds. Low reactivity compounds. Param means little. Param means what is that? Little. Affines. Affines means what is that? Affinity. Therefore, the inertness, due to the inertness of the alkanes, they are called as paraffins, little affinity compounds. Little affinity compounds. Okay, the first member of the alkane family. The first member of the alkane family is what is that? CH4. What is that? The name of the compound is methane. CH4, the name of the compound is methane. The first member of the alkane family is methane. Methane generally that is obtained in coal mines. Generally obtained in coal mines and marshy places. Coal mines and marshy places. Generally obtained in coal mines and marshy places. That's why the CH4 methane is also called as marsh gas. Is also called as what is that? Marsh gas. Marsh gas. Okay, and the further alkanes, this we take another example, that is CH3. What is this? Ethane. The second member of the alkane family, that is ethane. Ethane, it is obtained by, in case in alkane, in ethane or in methane, one hydrogen is replaced by CH3. One hydrogen is replaced by CH3, then we will get that is ethane. CH3. The general formula is that is C2H6. CnH2n plus 2. According to CnH2n plus 2, therefore the two member containing compound alkane general formula C2H6. C2H6. The name of the compound is what is that? Ethane. What is that? Ethane. Okay, then we go for the structure of the methane. Then we go for what is that? The structure of the methane. In alkanes, we know that very well. In alkanes, the carbon participate in sp3 hybridization. The carbon participate in sp3 hybridization. That is, in alkanes, what is that? Carbon generally participated in sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. That means in alkanes, all carbons having only single bonds. All carbon having only single bonds. Therefore, carbon-carbon single bonded compounds. That's why they are called as alkanes. Okay, therefore, that's why carbon-carbon single bonded compound, the carbon which is attached to single bond, that is the participate in sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. When the carbon which is attached to one sigma bond, another, that is a pi bond. One sigma bond, another pi bond, that is the participate in sp2 hybridization. That is participate in sp2 hybridization. Only one sigma bond is attached to one carbon-carbon sigma bond attached to carbon. That is the participate in what is that? sp3 hybridization. That's why methane participate in sp3 hybridization. What is the structure of the molecule? Therefore, what is the hybridization? The hybridization is sp3. Therefore, the shape of the compound is tetrahedron. Shape of the compound is tetrahedron. Tetrahedron. In tetrahedron, the four carbons, the four hydrogens which are attached to the carbon, they are all present. That is four corners of the carbon. Four corners of the carbon. That's why the shape of the molecule is tetrahedron like this. Shape of the molecule is tetrahedron. In tetrahedron, the carbon participate in sp3 hybridization. The bonds between the carbon and hydrogen, they are formed from the, what is that? The shape, what is that? The overlapping between, that is sp3 hybridized carbon and 1s orbital of hydrogen. Therefore, like that, four sp3 hybrid orbitals of carbon, they are involved overlapping with 1s orbital of hydrogen. They can form four CH single bonds. That's why that is CH3 shape of the compound. Tetrahedron is the CH3 shape of the compound. Therefore, the bond angle between in CH3, the bond length between carbon and carbon, that is how much? 154 picometers. 154 picometers. Or carbon and hydrogen, the bond length is 112 picometers. 112 picometers. What is the bond angle? The bond angle of CH, the bond angle present in methane, that is 109.5 degrees. 109.5 degrees in methane. The bond angle is 109.5 degrees and the bond length is, carbon-carbon bond length is 154 picometers or 1.54 angstrom. 1.54 angstrom. This is 1.12 angstrom. 1.12 angstroms. Okay, this is about introduction of alkanes. Okay, then we go for, that is nomenclature of alkanes. Nomenclature of alkanes. According to IUPAC, what is the abbreviation of IUPAC? International Union of, that is Pure and Applied Chemistry. According to IUPAC, what is the name of the alkane? According to IUPAC, the name of the alkane is alk plus ane. That means, therefore, you can take one formula, that is A plus B plus C. A plus B plus C. Here A represents that is the root word. A represents the root word. B represents that is the primary suffix. B represents what is that? Primary suffix. Primary suffix. And C represents the substituents. That is primary prefix. Primary prefix. Primary prefix. The primary prefix. Primary prefix, it represents or it is indicating the substituents attached to the main carbon chain. Substituent attached to the main carbon chain. Root word indicating the number of carbons present in that straight line. Number of carbon present in that parent carbon chain. Parent carbon chain, that is indicating the root word. Here B represents the primary suffix. Primary suffix. Primary suffix means what is that? Therefore, for the alkane, the primary suffix is ane. For the alkene, the primary suffix is ene. Therefore, for that is alkyne, the primary suffix is wine. Therefore, the primary suffix, it represents the nature of the compound. Nature of the compound. Therefore, primary prefix representing the substituent, the nature of the substituent present in that compound. Present in that compound. According to that, the alkane, the IUPAC name of the alkane is alk plus ane. Suppose carbon containing or carbon chain containing only one carbon atom, the root word is meth. Root word is meth. Therefore, the carbon chain containing two carbon atoms, the root word is eth. Three carbon atoms, what is that? Prop. Three carbon atoms, that is the prop. Therefore, four carbon atoms, what is that? That is bute. Five carbon atoms, what is that? Five carbon atoms, that is pent. 6 carbon atom, hex. 7 carbon atom, hept. 8 carbon atom, oct. 9 carbon atoms, none. 10 carbon atoms, dec. 10 carbon atoms, dec. Therefore, the number of carbons present in that carbon chain, that is indicating the root word. That is indicating the what is that? Root word. Okay, therefore, the primary suffix, it is indicating the nature of the compound. The nature of the compound. That means which type of bonds present in that compound. Suppose that is alkane. In alkane, only single bonds are present. As a suffix, we have to add for the alkane, that is ane. That is ane. Therefore, root word is meth. Primary suffix is ane. Therefore, the name of the IUPAC name of the compound is methane. IUPAC name of the compound is methane. Therefore, root word is eth. That is, the primary suffix is ane. Therefore, the name of the compound is ethane. Two carbon containing carbon chain. The name of the compound is ethane. Like that, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, decane, like that. Like that. Okay, that is the nomenclature of the alkanes. When that is C, here C in our formula, in our formula, C representing the primary prefix. Primary prefix indicating the nature of the substituent attached to the parent carbon chain. Substituent attached to the parent carbon chain. Just we see some more examples. Some more example we see, that is suppose the carbon chain having, therefore the carbon straight line having, that is 5 carbons like this. Okay, already you studied in previous year, that is the detailed nomenclature of that is organic compound is studied in first year. Okay, therefore, now what is the name of this compound? The name of this compound is how many number of the compounds present in that carbon chain? 5 carbons. 5 carbons, the root word is penta. Root word is penta. Only carbon single bonds are present. Therefore, the primary suffix for the single bonded compounds ane. Therefore, the compound name is pentane. Compound name is pentane. Therefore, the second example. Therefore, this is the second example. Therefore, the carbon main chain means the highest number of carbon present in that compound. That is selecting as a parent carbon chain. Selecting as a parent carbon chain. In a compound, there are a number of carbon chains are present. We have to select the highest numbered carbon chain that is selected as a parent carbon chain. Here, the highest numbered carbon, therefore 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbons, the highest number of carbons present in that chain, that is the 4 carbons. Therefore, the 4 carbon containing compound, the root word is but. And the primary suffix is N. Why primary suffix is N? Only carbon, only single bonds are present. And here we have observed the second position of the carbon. The second position of the carbon, it is attached to methyl group, or methyl group attached to the second position of the carbon. Second carbon, that's why that is 2-methyl-butane. The compound name is 2-methyl-butane. That is the C representing the substituent. Already we discussed the C representing the nature of the substituent. Here the substituent name is, what is that? Methyl group. That methyl group present at the second position. That's why the name of the compound is 2-methyl-butane. 2-methyl-butane. Then we go for another compound, another example. Okay, this is the another example. Okay, just we see what is that? That is how many carbons present in parent carbon chain? The parent carbon chain contains therefore 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Okay, number of carbons, highest number of carbons present in the parent carbon chain, 5 carbons. Is there any possibility? No possibility. That's why the 5 carbon containing carbon chain, that is selecting as a parent carbon chain. Selecting as a parent carbon chain. Therefore, for the 5 carbon containing carbon chain, the root word is penta. Root word is penta. Only, that is all carbons which are attached with only single bonds, the primary suffix is N. Primary suffix is N. For the alkane, the primary suffix is N, therefore pentane. And the substituents also present in that compound. And second and third positions. Second and third position, 2 substituents are present. Both are methyl groups. That's why, that is, if the substituents are both are same, in that case, we have to add as a prefix. If the 2 are present, that is a di, 3 are present, that is a tri, and the 4 are present, that is tetra. That's why 2 are present. That's why that is a dimethyl. The prefix is like that, dimethyl. The positions are, what is that? 2, 3 dimethyl pentane. 2, 3 dimethyl pentane. Okay. Therefore, here, what you observe here, there is another possibility. Why don't we give the numbering from left to right? This is the left to right. Why don't we give right to left? When we offer the numbering from the right to left, 1, that is 2, 3, 4, and 5. Therefore, the sum of the substituents numbering, when we offer the numbering from right to left, what is the sum of the substituent numbering? That is 7. Here, left to right, the sum of the substituent numbering, that is only 5. Therefore, according to IUPAC nomenclature rules, of the IUPAC nomenclature, always we have to follow lowest numbering. That's why we have to give the numbering from right to left, but not right to left. Left to right is correct, but not right to left. Which one gives lowest number? Which one gives lowest number? In that side only we have to give numbering. That's why the name of the compound is 2,3-dimethyl pentane. 2,3-dimethyl pentane. Okay. And just we see another example. Here, another compound is there. Another compound is there. Okay. How many number of compounds are present in that compound? How many number of carbons? Just first of all, we have to select main carbon chain. How many carbons present in parent carbon chain? Therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it correct? No, it is not correct. Why? There is a chance to give another side C2H5. C2H5 means what is that? CH2. That is CH3. CH2, CH3. Therefore, that's why what is that? 1, that is 2, that is 3, 4, 5. This numbering is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, this is the parent carbon chain. This is the parent carbon chain. The highest numbered compound, highest numbered chain, that is selecting as a parent carbon chain. Therefore, 5 carbons containing carbon chain, that is parent carbon chain. The root word is pent. The substituents present at 2, 3, same. That is 2, 3 dimethyl. 2, 3 dimethyl pentane. Dimethyl pentane. That is the name of the compound. Name of the compound. Okay, then we go for that is another topic, that is isomerism. Another topic, that is isomerism. What is meant by isomerism? What is meant by isomerism? The compounds, 2 or more compounds. So the 2 or more compounds or 2 or more molecules having same molecular formula, but they differ in their physical and chemical properties. Those compounds are called as isomers. The compounds which are having same molecular formula but different in their physical and chemical properties, those compounds are called as isomers, and the phenomena is called as isomerism. Okay, therefore, what is the definition? 2 or more compound, 2 or more organic compounds having same molecular formula, that is having same molecular formula, they differ in their physical and chemical properties. Physical and chemical properties. They are called as chemical properties. They are called as isomers. Those compounds are called as isomers. That phenomena is called isomerism. Is called as isomerism. What is that? Isomerism. Generally, we observed in alkanes, 2 types of isomerism is possible. One is a chain isomerism, and the second one is what is that? That is a positional isomerism. Chain isomerism, and the second one is positional isomerism. Chain isomerism and the positional isomerism, these 2 are called as structural isomerism. These two are called as structural isomerism. They are differ in their structure. They differ in their structure. That's why they are called as structural isomerism. Okay. Therefore, what is meant by chain isomerism? The compounds which are having same molecular formula and the same structure, but they differ. They differ in their chain. In their chain. They differ in their chain. That's why they are called as chain isomerism. The phenomenon is called as chain isomerism. Those compounds are called as chain isomers. Chain isomers. Just we take one example. That is the butane. That is butane. The molecular formula is C4H10. What is the molecular formula? What is that? C4H10. The molecular formula is C4H10. Therefore, C4H10, the structure of the compound is CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is the N-butane. This is N-butane. Here N refers to no branch. N refers to no branch. Therefore, that compound name is N-butane. Okay. Therefore, another structure is CH3, CH, that is CH3, that is CH3. Here, molecular formula is same, C4H10. But here, the substituent, the second carbon, the methyl group which is attached to second carbon, there is a chain difference. There is a chain difference. There is a chain difference. Therefore, what is that? Therefore, this is called as N-butane. This is called as isobutane. This is called as isobutane. The second carbon, one side attached with the methyl group, that is called as iso. That is called as iso. Therefore, the name of the compound is isobutane. For the C4H10, two isomers are possible. For the C4H10, two isomers are possible. Okay, two isomers are possible. Okay, then we go for another example, that is the C5H12. 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 Now, what is the name of this compound? The 5 carbon containing alkanes. Those are called as pentane. That is called as pentane. Okay, just see one example. Just see the molecular formula structure. CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. Therefore, all are present in, that is the straight line. There is no branch. That's why the name of the compound is N-pentane. The name of the compound is N-pentane. When the structure is like that, CH3, CH, the second carbon, one side attached with the methyl group, therefore remaining one is CH2, CH3. There is a chain difference. There is a chain difference, carbon chain difference. Therefore, that is the second carbon, one side attached with the methyl group, that is called as iso. Total how many carbons? 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, that is isopentane. That is isopentane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 carbons are there. Isopentane. There is another chance. CH3. CH3. The second carbon, both sides attached with the methyl groups. Both sides attached with the methyl group. Therefore, this is called as neo. That is called as neo. The second carbon in a straight chain, the second carbon both sides attached with the methyl group. That is called as neo. Therefore, the name of the compound is neopentane. The name of the compound is neopentane. Therefore, for the C5H12, therefore, the total possible isomers are 3. One is N-pentane and the second one is isopentane and the third one is neopentane. Third one is what is that? Neopentane. Then we go for, okay, then we go for, that is C6H12. C6, what is that? C6 H14. C6, what is that? H14. This is the C4H10, C5H12. C4H10, how many possible? 2 isomers are possible. C5, 3 and C6H14. Total 5 isomers are possible. Total what is that? 5 isomers are possible. 5 isomers are possible. This is the isomerism. What is that? Same molecular formula, but difference in their physical and chemical properties. They are called as isomerism. They are called as isomers. The phenomenon is called as isomerism. These are the structural isomers or chain isomers. In that structural isomer, these are comes under chain isomer. What about positional isomers? Positional isomer means the compounds having same molecular formula, but what is the difference? The position of the substituent is different. The position of the substituent is different. Just to see one example. Just we see the one example, that is CH3, that is CH2, that is CH2, that is CH2, CH2, CH3. What is this? That is N-hexane. The name of the compound is, what is that? N-hexane. Total 6 carbons are present in that carbon chain, parent carbon chain, N-hexane. Okay? N-hexane. And another structure for this compound is what is that? CH3, CH, CH3, and CH2, that is CH2, that is CH3. Total how many? What is the molecular formula? C6H14. C6H14. Therefore, how many carbons are there? Total, that is in parent carbon chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In main carbon chain or parent carbon chain, total 5 carbons are present and the substituent present at second position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second position which is attached with the methyl group. Therefore, what is that? 2-methyl pentane. 2-methyl, what is that? Pentane. 2-methyl pentane. When this is also writing like this, CH2 and CH attached with the methyl group and CH2, that is the CH3. Therefore, same molecular formula, but the position of the methyl group shifted to second position to third position. Therefore, this is called as 3-methyl pentane. 3-methyl pentane. Only what you observe here, the position of the substituent. The position of the substituent, the methyl group is changed. Okay, changed here. Here 2-methyl, second position. 2-methyl here, third position. Therefore, only position is changed. Those isomers are called as positional isomers. Positional isomers. Positional isomers. Okay, just we see another structure for the, that is hexane. CH3. CH3, that is CH2, CH3, and CH3. What is this? 2, 2. What is that? 2, 2 dimethyl. 2, 2 dimethyl. 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2 dimethyl butane. Dimethyl butane. 2, 2 dimethyl butane. That is the another, that is the isomer of the, that is the alkane. That is hexane. Another isomer of the hexane. Okay. Is there any possibility? This is 2, 3. This is 2, 3. Not 2, 2, 3. And another possibility, what is that? CH3, CH and CH3 and CH2, CH3. What is this? At 2 methyl groups present at 2, 2, 2 dimethyl butane. 2, 2 dimethyl butane. Here also what you observe here? Here 2 methyl groups. The positions are 2, 3. Here 2, 2. These two are also called as positional isomers. These two are also called as positional isomers. Same molecular formula. Molecular formula is same, but they differ in the position of the substituent. Position of the substituent. That's why they are called as positional isomers. Positional isomers. Okay, this is the structural, this is the chain and the positional isomerism which are observed in alkanes. Okay. Okay, you can practice some more examples which are in academic textbook. Okay, that is nomenclature. Okay. Then we go for that is conformation. Conformations in alkanes. Conformations in alkanes. Conformations in alkanes. What is meant by conformations? What is meant by conformation? In alkanes, carbon-carbon only single bond is present. Carbon-carbon single bonds are present. Therefore, the carbon-carbon single bond, the rotation of carbon-carbon single bond, due to the rotation, we will get a spatial difference. We will get a spatial difference of the atoms. Spatial difference of the atoms. Due to that, we will get two different compounds. That means one compound converted to another compound due to the carbon-carbon bond rotation. That that is called as conformation. That is called as what is that? Conformation. What is the conformation? Due to the carbon-carbon bond rotation, carbon-carbon containing sigma bond. Therefore, the carbon-carbon sigma bond, due to the sigma bond rotation, we will get one isomer converted to another isomer. That phenomena is called as a conformation. Therefore, the compounds which are present or which are obtained in that compound, those are called as conformers. Conformers or rotamers. Okay, just we see one example. Alkanes generally we observed that is two types of conformation. Generally we observe that is two types of conformations. One is Sahas conformation and the second one is that is Newman conformation. Newman projection and the second one is Sahas conformation. Sahas projection. Okay. And let us see one example, that is alkane. For the alkane, the best example, that is ethane. What is the structure? CH3. In ethane, each carbon which is attached with 3 hydrogens and one other carbon. Okay, this is the ethane structure. Okay, in that is Newman projection. First we have observed Newman projection. In Newman projection, the front carbon. In Newman projection, the front carbon that is designated with or indicated with point. Okay, back carbon indicated with circle. Therefore, the front carbon, which is, suppose it is taken as a front C1, it is considered as a C2 back carbon. Therefore, observer here, observe the molecule from here. Observe the molecule here. In Newman projection, observer can observe the only front carbon. He didn't observe the back carbon. That is the three-dimensional structure. Therefore, with our eye, we can't observe the three-dimensional structure. That's why the back carbon which are representing with circle. Therefore, the 3 hydrogens attached to the carbon indicated are representing like this. Therefore, this is H1. Therefore, this is H2. Therefore, it is H3. 3 hydrogens. Okay, each 2 hydrogens. 2 hydrogens are that is separating with a bond angle that is 120 degrees. Here back carbon also, that is what is that? Attached with 3 hydrogens. Here that is H2. Here what is that? H1. Here what is that? H3. He3. Therefore, here also that is the bond angle between any two hydrogens, that is 120 degrees. In Newman projection, the bond angle between any two hydrogens, that is equal to 120. Therefore, generally in alkanes we are observed infinite number of conformations. Infinite number of conformations we are observed. Infinite number of conformations we are observed. Just we see some other examples. That is when we rotating the one carbon. When we rotating it, one carbon is fixed here. In the rotation, one carbon is fixed. Another carbon allowed to rotate. Just we rotate the front carbon. Back carbon fix cheseni. Just we rotate the front carbon. Okay. Just we rotate the front carbon. That means a point carbon. When we rotating the point carbon, what we observe here? When we rotating the front carbon, here we are observed. Okay. Therefore, that is the back carbon containing hydrogen H1 here, and the back carbon H2 and the H3 here. Okay. Front carbon we are rotating therefore 60 degrees angle. We are rotating, what is that? 60 degrees angle. 60 degrees means therefore the hydrogens which are comes to, what is that? Exact between the previous positions of the two hydrogens. Therefore here we'll get that is H1. Here we'll get H1, here we'll get H2, here we'll get H3. We'll get, what is that? H3. Then we rotating the another 60 degrees. Another 60 degrees. Same. Back carbon is fixed. Okay, front carbon allowed to rotate the front carbon. Therefore, when we rotating the another 60, therefore, what is that? That is H1. It is comes to close to H2. H2 comes to H3. H3 comes to H1. Therefore, H1 here, hydrogens are fixed in that is back carbon H3. Okay, when we rotating the here, what you here? That is the H1. Here, that is H3. Here, what is that? H2. Here, what is that? H2. Okay, and it is again allowed to rotate again, that is 60 degrees. Again 60 degrees. Therefore, back carbon same, H1, that is H2, that is H3. Front carbon, that is H3 here. Okay, clockwise direction H3 here, and H1 here. Therefore, this is H2 here. H2 here. What you observe in the rotation? Therefore, here that is in eclipsed conformation. The conformation is called as eclipsed conformation. In eclipsed conformation, eclipsed means generally we are observed in eclipsed solar. Eclipsed solar means what is that? That is moon and sun. Moon and sun both are coincide to each other, or both are aligned to each other. Both are comes in same plane. That is called as eclipsed. That is eclipsed conformation. In eclipsed conformation, the back carbon hydrogens and front carbon hydrogens. Back carbon hydrogens and front carbon hydrogens exact coincide with each other. That means back carbon hydrogens eclipse to the front carbon hydrogens. Back carbon hydrogens are eclipsed to the front carbon hydrogens. That is the eclipsed conformation. That means the angle between the two hydrogens of back and front carbons, two hydrogens are two elements. Between the two elements of back and front carbons, the angle between angle is what is that? 0 degrees. Angle is 0 degrees. Therefore, that 0 degree angle conformation is called as eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation. And exactly opposite to here. Therefore, H2, H3, H1. H2, H3, H1. Therefore, hydrogens are very far away to each other. Hydrogens are very far away to each other. That conformation is called as staggered conformation. That conformation is called as staggered conformation. That conformation is called as staggered. That means the hydrogens, the two carbons, hydrogens very far away from each other. Very far away from each other. That conformation is called as a staggered conformation. Okay. In between the eclipsed and staggered, the intermediate is called as what is that? Skew conformation. The intermediate conformation is called as skew conformation or Gauss conformation. Skew conformation or Gauss conformation. Therefore, in eclipsed conformer, there is a so much of repulsions we are observed. So much of repulsions we are observed. Why we are observed so much of repulsions? Therefore, back and front carbons are very near to each other. Very near to each other. So much of repulsions between them. That's why they will get so much of energy. Due to the repulsion, so much of energy. Due to the high energy, that molecule is less stable. That molecule is what is that? Less stable. Less stable. Why? The hydrogens, the front and back carbon hydrogens, they are very near to each other. That's why they will get so much of repulsions. They will undergo so much of repulsions. That's why that repulsion is called as torsion repulsion. That repulsions are called as torsion repulsion or torsional strain. Torsional strain. Torsional strain generally we are observed more and more in eclipsed, very less in staggered. Very less in staggered. Why in staggered very less? The hydrogens are very far away from each other. Hydrogens are very far away from each other. That's why therefore, we didn't observe any repulsions in staggered. That means less repulsions in staggered and less energy in staggered, more stability in staggered. More stability in staggered. Therefore, less repulsions, less energy, and more stability, more stable conformation is staggered conformation. More stable conformation. Less energy, more repulsions, more energy, and less stable conformation is what is that? Eclipsed conformation. Eclipsed conformation. This is the Newman projection of ethane. Newman projection of ethane. Then we'll see that is Sahar's conformation. We'll see what is that? Sahar's conformation. In Sahar's conformation, observer observe the molecule along the axis. Observer observe the molecule along the axis. Therefore, the carbon-carbon bond angle, it is indicated with a diagonal line. It is indicated with diagonal line. Okay, diagonal line. Therefore, front carbon here. Therefore, what is that? Front carbon having the hydrogens, that is hydrogen and hydrogen and hydrogen. Okay, back carbon, that is here. What is that? That is hydrogen and hydrogen and that is hydrogen. Here hydrogens. Okay, this is the staggered conformation of ethane. Staggered conformation of ethane. Okay, therefore here what you observe, when we observe the observe the molecule, he can observe the both front and back carbons. Both front and back carbon. But in Newman, he observed only front carbon. He didn't observe the back carbon. But here He observed the molecule along the axis. He observed the molecule, what is that? Along the axis. Observe the molecule along the axis. That's why he observed the both the front and back carbons. Front and back carbons near the observer, that is the front carbon, away from the observer, that is the back carbon or rear carbon. Back carbon or rear carbon. Back carbon or rear carbon. Here also, that is first of all we are rotating that is the 60 degrees. Here also what is that? Carbon attached with 3 hydrogens, each carbon attached with 3 hydrogens which are separated with 120 degrees angle. Which are separated with 120 degrees angle. When we, that is the carbon, exactly, when we carbon, that is, this is the foot here, that is back carbon, put upon this front carbon, put on the front carbon, exactly we observe that is H1 carbons and H2 carbons and H3 carbons are exactly coincide with each other. Exactly coincide with each other. That means the bond angle is 0 degrees. That conformation is called as eclipsed conformation. Here also like Newman. When we rotate the 60 degrees angle, only we are rotating the front carbon, just we fix the back carbon. Therefore, hydrogens here and here. H3, H2, H1. We are rotating what is that? Clockwise direction 60 degrees. Clockwise direction 60. Therefore, between the H1 H3, the bond angle is 120. We are rotating the only 60. Therefore, just H1 comes to the exactly middle of the H1 to H3. Therefore, here H1 and H3 and that is H2. Therefore, we are rotating another, that is 60 degrees. Another 60 degrees. What you observe here. Therefore, same. This is the fixed H3. Here H2. Okay, another 60. Another 60 means H2 occupies the H1 position. Therefore, if that is H3 occupies the H2 position, H2 occupies the H1, H1 occupies the H3, like that. Okay, therefore, this is H2, this is H1, this is what is that? H3. Okay, therefore, another rotating another 60 degrees. Rotating another 60 degrees. What you observe here? Same H1, H3 and H2. Here rotating another 60. Therefore, what you observe here? Therefore, 60 and 60, 120 degrees. Okay, 180 degrees. That is exactly here. H2 H3 and H1. Therefore, H1 in between the H2 and H3. H3 in between the H2 and H1. H2 in between the H1 and H3. That's why hydrogens are very far away from each other. Therefore, that isomerism is called as a staggered conformation. That conformation is called as staggered. Therefore, between the eclipsed and staggered, that conformation is called as what do you observe here? Here, that is the between the intermediate isomerism or conformation is called as a skew conformation. That is skew conformation. Eclipsed, staggered and skew. Therefore, in eclipsed conformation, carbon. Therefore, carbon C1 carbon and C2 carbon, that is the hydrogens. C1 hydrogen and C2 hydrogen, the bond angle is 0 degrees. Bond angle is 0 degrees we are observed. That is the eclipsed conformation. Okay, when eclipsed conformation, it is undergoes 180 degrees rotation. We will get the staggered conformation. Eclipsed conformation, when we allow to rotate, that is 120 degrees rotation. Again, we will get what is that? Eclipsed conformation. Okay, eclipsed conformation, that is undergoes 60 degrees rotation. We will get skew or Gaussian conformation. QR, Gaussian conformation. What is that? Eclipse conformation undergoes 60 degrees rotation, skew conformation. Eclipse conformation undergoes 120 degrees rotation. We will get eclipse again. Eclipse conformation undergoes 180 degrees rotation. We will get what is that? Staggered conformation. This is the alkanes. What is that? Alkanes introduction and isomerism and nomenclature and finally what is that? Conformations. What is that? Conformations. Thank you.